Good evening, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the Finance SEQFC Preview Show, with thanks to our good friends at Vilic Law. I'm Darren Lutton, admin at SEQFC. Hopefully we've got some new viewers this evening because we've got a new guest that you might be interested in checking out. This is, of course, the Sunshine Coast Preview Show. We've got Daniel Carew with us again. DK, how are you, sir?
Good, boss. How you doing?
Good, mate. Good, mate. How's it feel to be in charge of 2 clubs at once?
Busy.
I'll bet. And we've got Kyle Nix with us tonight, who is the coach at Gympie United. Kyle, good evening.
All right, Daz, how are you, mate? DK.
Hey, boss.
We're almost going to get your brother on the show tonight, but it's considering the weekend's result, it's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not wanting to jump on, to be fair. Nah, but yeah, it's probably a good thing, but I'm sure you'll get him on the next call. But yeah, he had a good win on Saturday, so I've been a bit flat last couple of days, but it is what it is.
We might start with the game and then we'll ask you a few more general questions. So you got absolutely, putting it lightly, hammered on the weekend, 7-1.
Yeah.
What happened? You've been on a good run recently too.
Yeah, obviously we won 3 on bounce before we played BG's DK on Wednesday night, and to be honest, you know, we give everything in that game, and I think that took quite a lot out of us, you know. So we played Saturday, the Wednesday, and then straight back to Nambour on the Saturday. So 3 games in a week. And to be fair, mate, Nambour, I think my brother had everyone available together first time this season, all, you know, near enough fit, and their quality, you know, on the day, I think they couldn't beat anyone. But you know, if they've got all the players together, so you know, no problems from me. It's they were the better team on the night, and we looked a bit tired, and you know, their quality is there to see. So you know.
It was a heavy game against us too, to be fair. I know Wednesday night, I know we had to travel, but I know you had to travel, Kai, but 8:30 at night, it's hard for everyone. And it was, to be fair, it was a great game and it was tough. Like, I think everyone threw, everything at it. So I think backing up on Saturday was always going to be tough for everyone, especially for Gympie and us. It was always going to be tough.
Yeah, definitely showed.
Yeah, we were, you know, we struggled too in the sense of just tired and injuries, and I don't know if you had injuries and whatnot, but you know, we were lucky enough we didn't have to face Jacob Vilic. So
yeah, Jake, fully gave him half a chance with Barlow going forward. You know, they're dangerous, so so that's what they can do.
How's the banter with your brother there, Kyle?
Non-existent at the minute because he's not here, but yeah, mate, we didn't really say much after the game. I'm not the greatest loser, but I'm trying to take that mindset that if you win, you know, you're just on to the next game. If you lose, you're just on to the next game. You know, I think like me and DK had a chat about the game, you know, on Wednesday after the game, just saying you've just got to try and you know, stay balanced and win or lose, because the next game, you know, comes up and we're learning still, I guess. So, but there's a bit of banter there. We're more stick on Saturday trying to get him booked and stuff and sent off. But you know, it's 90 minutes of football. It's anything to win.
You said that you're not a good loser. Give us an example of how you're not. You're a thrower of things. You're a puncher of walls.
Well, I did get sent off. So first time I never got sent off in my professional football career. So I got sent off actually against Nambour last year. It were actually filmed. You know, I come on after the game and, you know, called the referee a cheat. Obviously said a few things before that. So I got sent off against Nambour last year. And I'm sure, you know, DK's heard me on the side. So
I've been sent off too.
Yeah. Was that against Nambour? Who were that against?
No, it's against Maroochydore. It was my first season. We lost 8-0, and I actually got sent off for blasting my own team. That you could literally hear a pin drop. I look back at it and I'm like, oh, what a head loss. Like, teams, the whole team, the crowd, the referees all just stared at me and was like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And I actually walked myself off. I think the ref said, "I got to send you off," and I went, "Yeah, okay."
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're both from more shouting and just that desire to win, I guess.
So just having a look at the ladder, Kyle, you're sitting there in 7th place on 15 points. How tough is it to keep your players up for the remainder of the season?
Well, after the 3 wins, it was pretty easy, just going into the next game. But once you lose a couple, you just, we've got news on Saturday, so that's going to be very, difficult. And we have got a few lads missing again. My captain's suspended, so I guess it's just trying to get them to believe that they can, on the day they can actually, beat anyone. I think. On the day if they all perform or at least get a result, going to News and, even, BGs and teams like that, we're just trying to get, a result, whether it's a draw and just trying to compete as best as we can. So that's what we'll be doing. It's pretty tight though, I think, the league, I think if we won, we could have gone over, gone past Caloundra and then we would have been not far off top 4. So it's still pretty tight, so you get 2 or 3 wins towards the end of the season, and it doesn't maybe look as bad as, But then saying that, you lose them, or you don't pick up any wins, you could easily finish bottom. So
I'm just looking at the ladder now, guys. Just set me straight. How many matches with the Coolum pulling out? How many matches are there left?
We have 3 and a bye, so some teams have already had their bye, I think, but I'm not too sure. We've got 3 and a bye, so 4 technically.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we've got straight 4. We have actually got 4 games left. So.
Okay. So Noosa just need a point out of their next 4 games to be champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We tried very hard to get Kevin Evans on the show this week. It's his son's birthday. Curse it. No, happy birthday. And anyway, so 1 more point for Noosa and they win the league. Now, are we doing finals this year or is that the premiership?
No, that's
the
league. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, DK, assuming that you don't, that the league is won this weekend, where's your motivation with your players to see out the remainder of the season?
Look, I guess I'm probably in a situation where I would say this: the fact that I've signed as a fire coach as well probably gives some of the players that are playing for me a little bit more motivation than other people. Maybe the teams that are playing us are getting up for it a bit more too, because they're obviously looking to impress. But at the same time, I honestly think even if I didn't take the job, I still think my team is very motivated anyway. I think the way that we're built up and they're competitive anyway. I think every game they go into, they want to win, just purely on the base of who they are and what they've built over the last 5 years anyway. So I think that what they've been able to do and be able to get to where they are, they don't want to finish any lesser than second. So for them, yeah, we can't win it. Like, obviously, I don't see us winning it because I don't see Noosa not getting a point after 4 games. But they want to finish second to say that, for themselves, that all the effort, all the hard work that they put in, in pre-season to try and win the thing. But also the fact that we thought we were going to be in finals football. I think they want to try and finish as high as they possibly can with as many points, as many goals as they can. So the motivation's there. I think I'm lucky in that sense. I've got a good group that are just motivated, and also they're in the running to be in the top 4. I think any team that's in that top 2, top 3 sides want to still finish as high as they can. So I'm lucky because I think they're still motivated. So I don't have to do too much in the sense of getting them up for it.
Given that you're taking over the fire next year, are players messaging you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think it's vice versa. At the end of the day, my job's to build, and I'd be silly not to listen to advice. I'd silly not to listen to players. I'll just, I think it's like anything. Do be courteous in the right ways at the moment. At the same time, especially with other NPL clubs and things like that. And I've just got to touch base and then obviously just see who's interested as well. You know, at the end of the day, I've got decisions to make to see who's going to fit that mold of what I want to do, and I'll take my time to make sure I get it right. So, it goes both ways. It's like anything. Yeah, certain players are interested, and they'll give you a message to see how you're getting on and want to know things. But you just got to do what you got to do, and you know, keep what you think is going to be, you know, eventually a team that you have to build, and keep the players that are there at the same time, and keep watching them every week to see what they're about. So got to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and watch and keep a close eye on everything. So.
And before we started recording tonight, you told me that you've been to check out the fire facilities this week. Of course, with you originally being at the fire, how much has changed since you were last there?
Obviously there's other things that are available now. You know, there's other areas in, you know, obviously the Falcons have got their own pitch now, and there's the possibility of being able to use a better surface over in another part of the sports precinct with a gym and cold room, and having these sort of things available. Obviously, there's still discussions to have about the stadium. You know, obviously I went through it today to have discussions with council and obviously the owners, and just to see what things I can use and can't use, and also to just find out what are the benefits of being able to keep everything very, you know, in the one area. So it was good. You know, it was very open, very honest, and hopefully I can get a few things done that will change for the team, so I can at least get a little bit more professionalism, I guess, out of them.
Be so good to get matches at Sunshine Coast Stadium again.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be nice. It's unbelievable. It looks good. It's nice walking out there.
Yeah, I've commentated a match there, and I absolutely adored it. Absolutely adored it. So yes, we need more football at Sunshine Coast Stadium. All right, now let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures. We've already touched on Kyle's match against Noosa. DK, you're taking on Maroochydore. How do you see that one going?
Be a tough one again. We've had them twice already, so yeah, third time charm hopefully as well. You know, but they're tough. Again, I haven't actually seen how much of them in the previous games. I haven't actually seen them too much, but they've got quality everywhere. So yeah, it would be a tough game, and it's at theirs. So, and they'll be keen. I know they'll be keen to get one on us, especially after the last two games that we played them. So we'll see. They're a good team. They've got good players. If they turn up on the day, they're like any team. They can beat anyone. So just got to keep them quiet, and hopefully we play our football and get things done. We just I think we're just waiting for one or two key players that could be injured or not available, depending what my physio comes back with. But hopefully they're fit, and hopefully I can use them. But we'll see.
Kyle, we'll turn to you for the other two matches. Caloundra are hosting Kawana, and Butterham against Nambour Yandina. That's got to be probably the most interesting game out of the two, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. Is that at Budrum, is it? I'm guessing.
It is at Wanderers, yes.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. You know, if Nambour play like they did the other night, and because it's about, you know, I guess like most teams, it's consistency, you know, and keeping a run together. But you know, I think Budrum. How did Budrum get on the other day? Did they? Oh, they drew with you, did they?
2-2.
Yeah. I saw the free kick. You know, Budrum. They're dangerous. But I'm sure my brother will, have something set up for Nambour to try and get a win there. You know, because they probably need. I think if we win, we go on level points. So that's how close it is. And I mean, Caloundra, you never know, dear. Kawana, I think are underrated. Well, you know, they've got young lads and stuff, but on the day they're a good team. And Caloundra probably, you know, struggled a bit recently, and you know, Ethan got sent off against us the other week. So it just depends, I guess, who they've got available and how they're going to bounce after losing. I think they've lost a couple on spin, and so be a tough game.
Guys, just with all the chats that we seem to have every week, there seems to be a red card in every match. Is there a discipline problem on the Sunshine Coast?
I can say, Kyle, if you want, because I don't mind. I'm not going to get in trouble after 3 more games. But it's look, I'll be honest. The refereeing standard doesn't help, and that's not because they're not competent, but I think it's got to do with that. Unfortunately, we're quick to get rid of players, or we're quick to send players off, and rather than assess the situation. The end of the day is we want to keep 11 on the pitch, but sometimes I don't think they really look into it too much about how to keep 11 players on the pitch, because I don't think that I've watched football for a lot. I don't think we're that violent. I don't think that it's actually that malice. I actually think that the football on the coast is getting better. I think that we're just unfortunate that, I think they get a bit carried away, and I mean, I was lucky to be involved with NYU in that massive thrilling game, and to witness some absolute fantastic refereeing from Alex King. To see a top level referee be able to handle a game in the way that he did, whether he got things right or wrong, he was still able to manage a game where it was 7-6. I mean, and there was a lot in it. It was very physical. It was battle, but he let a lot go and let things slide. And it just showed me that, there obviously is quality out there, in the sense of, whether we lost or won, if we lost that game, I wouldn't be angry at him. I'd actually be angry at my team. But it was good to see a bit more refreshing in the sense of that, he's come from the sunny coast, and, he was very competent in the sense of, and he's very happy to have a conversation even after the game. He spoke to me after it, asking for footage for things that he thought maybe he got wrong, and he was happy to really look at it. I think that's, for me, I haven't had that very often. And I mean, you don't have to comment, but I think it's true that when you get a referee that you can actually talk to, and he's happy to really just have a look at the situation that he was in and pull it to pieces like a coach would, I guess, was refreshing. It was nice.
There could be more, couldn't there? You're not asking him to change too much, but just be a bit more understanding and, communicate with the coaches or the captains, or you don't want to see sendings off, do you? Let's be honest.
No, it wrecks games.
Yellow cards and stuff and sin bins and all this, it can ruin, it can really change the game in them 10 minutes. We've seen loads of goals where there's been sin bins and there shouldn't have been. And, I think you want to see 11v11, don't you, as long as possible in the day. So,
yeah, I don't think we have a malicious problem.
Games.
Yeah, I think in the whole Sunshine Coast, I would say there's footballers out there that are actually malicious. I think it's just
no, not at all. You don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the stats now. There's only one player, and DK, it's one of yours.
Yeah,
it's got 2 red cards. Everyone else has got 1, and there's probably about
Who's
15.
That?
And Kai knows everyone knows my brother. He's not a malicious guy.
No. He's an hothead, mate. 2 sendings off. Oh, he's mad.
Has he had 2 this year?
He's had 2.
Is he? There you go. I'm gonna have to look at my disciplinary actions. I'm gonna have to sort him out. He's bigger than me though, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Fair enough. All right, now let's take a look now at the McDonald's Premier Women's League. Now, this has been a one-way contest all season until on the weekend, when the BGs got up over Maroochydore, and that's thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. Nambour Yandina had a win. It's now 2 points is the gap at the top of the table.
Yeah. Well, NYU been flying, to be fair. I mean, Kai, your brother. I mean, how the women's side's really kicked on.
Yeah. I've been down and watched a couple of games as well. Actually, I went to watch them against Gympie last week, and I think they've just got a good bunch together. They've added to what they had last year. I think they've got that. They've been together for a few years, and it helps no matter where you are, I guess. So it's good. It's good for the club, you know, for Nambour, and you know, seniors did well, you know, well last year. So it's the girls who are probably doing a little bit better this year. But you know, it's good to see, and I think there is, you know, a lot more closer games in women's. Maybe it's been in the past few years, which is good.
So just running through the weekend's results, BG's had a 3-2 victory over Maroochydore, Caloundra a 5-1 win over Gympie United, and Nambour Yandina comfortable winners over Woombai. So yes, 2 points at the top of the ladder with BG's another 4 points behind. We've got 4 matches left in that league, so it's still up for grabs.
Yeah.
Who's it between Maroochydore, BG's, NYU? Is it? Maybe Caloundra can sneak up there, can they?
And this weekend's match is Nambour Yandina at home to Maroochydore.
Yeah,
so
that'd
that's
be a good game. Yeah.
Clearly the match of the weekend.
Well, it could be in the sense if Maroochydore win, they go 5 points clear.
They do, yes. And
I mean, if you peg them back, they get top and they're a point ahead. So that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll take note of that with interest. And if you notice our polls on Friday, this will certainly be an option of the biggest matches of the weekend. Gympie United are hosting BG's, Caloundra FC hosting Woombai. Kyle, have you taken much of an interest in your women's team this season?
Yeah, I've been to watch a few games when I can. You know, obviously it's difficult when it's a Friday night up in Gympie, but I've been to a couple of. I went to watch them at Maroochydore a couple of weeks ago, and they always compete. You know, Gympie, the girls team, they always compete. I went to watch them against Nambour. They was unlucky against Nambour as well. They was actually winning twice in that game, 1-0 and then 2-1, and they looked pretty solid. And you know, just ran out. Nambour have got a couple of quick strikers. One of the young girls has been scoring quite a few goals. So, but they are competitive and they play some decent stuff. You know, Crossy and Joel Albion take reserves, so they're not bad at all on the day. They did well last year as well. I think, you know, they nearly finished in top 4. I think they got knocked out in semis to Maroochydore, maybe. I think it were in finals. So they've done well. They've done pretty well.
Kyle, tell us a bit about the Gympie United setup. For those who are watching outside of the Sunshine Coast, we do get a few that sneak in for all the different parts of our shows. Tell us a bit about Gympie United and how it's all come together.
Well, they had 4 different clubs playing in the Gympie local league 3 or 4 years ago, and decided to merge together as one club, you know, from senior level to become Gympie United. Then they introduced a women's team a couple of years ago, and you know, incorporating more junior teams as well, so it becomes one club. So it's Gympie United, and it's worked so far. You know, they're pretty competitive in. You know, we've been competitive in definitely in the senior ranks, and they've got some good junior teams coming through. So it's been pretty good.
What sort of player pool have you got to choose from?
Mainly it's your Gympie area. You know, it's about an hour drive from the coast, so it's mainly the pool of Gympie lads. You know, I've had a couple of lads come from Rainbow Beach. Who have come and played this year. Unfortunately, one of them got injured, but he looked really well at the start of the season. So, you know, you get the odd, you know, lad coming further afar, but mainly it's just the main 80%, the core group is lads from the Gympie region. And, you know, I had a couple of years where there were a lot more, you know, older boys playing, but there is a lot of, you know, younger lads coming through now, 16, 17, 18-year-olds are doing well at reserves, and I'm starting to integrate them into first team gradually. You know, they've struggled in some games, and some games looked like they can hold their own. But so that's good for the future of the club if in next 2 to 3 years, depending who's there, I guess. So,
is this your first year coaching the side?
Pardon?
Is this your first year coaching the side?
No, this is my 3rd year. Yeah,
Third
this
year.
is my This is my 3rd year. taking the senior team, and there's definitely been steady progression, and it's good to see that the club has won. I guess the big thing was bringing all the clubs together, and they've done that from 16. I think it's from competitive level. I think it's from 12s up to 16s, or 12 up to 18s. That's where they've brought the Gympie United together as one club. So,
take us through those 3 years. What was the early things that you noted that needed to be improved? Tell us where you're at now and what's the next step.
From when I started, it's been mainly togetherness, I guess. Being a club, united as we call it Gympie United. It's mainly uniting the lads so they're on the same wavelength. Getting lads in reserves wanting to compete and play in the first team. When I first come, a lot of lads, they didn't really care if they played first or reserves. Now, lads are wanting to actually, play in the top team because they know it's going to be better for their progression. Off the pitch, just little things, getting lads to wear all the same, tracksuit, tops to games, and training kits have been introduced, and the facilities up there are unbelievable. To be fair, the pitches and everything. So everything's there. It's just little things. It's little minor details. I think just more. It's just a togetherness, and it shows on and off the pitch. It's shown with results, and there's been a progression points wise. I think we're from the first season to the second season, we actually trebled as points. From 10, I think we had 10 points, and second season 30 odd points. This season's not been as, it's been a bit inconsistent with COVID and not having training and being off for 4 months. But we have picked up some really good results. So I think that togetherness shows. So that's the main thing, and trying to get lads to want to play at an higher level and take it more serious, and show that they are a good team and wanting to win games and caring if they win or lose.
Tactically, have you been able to improve the squad?
Oh yeah.
Cheers, DK. Yeah, listen, I it's not really, for me, it's not rocket science to tactically. It's just been making the lads, realise, positioning and getting in good shape. And on the pitch is important, because then you're harder to beat. I know we are hard on his day. We are hard to beat. So tactically, that's shown on the pitch. Attacking wise, we're a lot more dangerous. This first season, we didn't create many chances at all. It were more just, let's try and get a draw and maybe nick a goal on the counter attack. But now we're starting to build up. I like to play out from the back a lot of the time. Sometimes it's been horses for courses, but away from home we've maybe played a bit more direct. So tactic wise, it's not been anything fancy. It's just been being hard to beat. Good shape out of possession, good shape in possession, so we can play good football. But if not, being dangerous, playing into good areas. And DK commented on that on Wednesday, which is good, because it means that you're doing something productive. Maybe you can't see it all the time, but I watch our teams play, and my brother, DK plays out from the back and stuff, and it's good. It's good to see. It's good to watch.
I've always found it, good. We spoke after the game. I've always really enjoyed going, with Kai when he's coaching. It's just, obviously it's one of those things. If he was able to have it more closer to, a central area, he'd have better. I'm not saying better players, but he'd have probably more quality player at his fingertips. He'd probably be able to have an X factor players and things like that. But for me, they're always tough, to beat. They've got Jaden Davey. For me, he's like, fucking hell. I think he just can score some goals, man. That goal he scored against us was an absolute bomb. And again, it's tactics come down to it in they play into an area and I have to adjust. And I really enjoy it. I think it's, we play a certain way. He knows how we play. And for me, that it's as a coach, it's refreshing to sort of go into a game knowing that things are going to change and I have to change things, or I have to be, on my game to make sure that I get the best out of the players and make sure that they understand certain areas that we're going to be at fault for. If we're not smart enough, we're going to get caught in counter with good players. So I enjoy it. I think, from playing Gympie from, not 3 years ago, but I was there 5 years, from 5 years to where we are now, 100 times harder to beat, 100 times more dangerous on breaks. Every game now is difficult to go into. It's probably the same as what BWL went before I came in. Everyone went to BWL going, we can send our reserve grade team, we're going to win 5-6-0 and it's fine.
I guess that's a bit like Nambour as well. And I think we spoke on Wednesday. I'm excited as a coach, just a young coach who's learning, you're learning every day and you come up against people like Kev and, my brother, that they're going to do different things and mix it up. Anyone, you come up against any of the teams, you're sometimes thinking how they're going to play or what they're going to do. So it's good. It gets you thinking. We can't always play it the same way, I guess, and it's good. It's good to good to see, and it's pretty exciting. So you want younger coaches and different ideas, I guess.
Yeah, it's fantastic to hear. All right, now let's quickly have a look at the NPL with the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. They're currently in 8th place. They had a loss last night against Eastern Suburbs, which is a massive result for Easts in their run for safety. Wanderers are in 8th place, 6 points ahead of Redlands United in 13th place. There's 5 positions there between the Wanderers and relegation. I just can't see it happening. Wanderers fans, you're safe. You're safe for another year. All right, let's quickly have a look at the FQPL. There were no matches on the weekend. It was a bye weekend. This weekend, the Fire are travelling to Wakeley Park to take on Souths United. Souths struggling a lot this season. In 10th place, only 3 wins and 3 draws. Fire have been going pretty well as of late. 5 wins, 4 draws, and I expect the Fire to win that game.
They're playing. Are they playing at Souths?
They are.
Is that the Astro? Is it a what's the name pitch? I'm pretty.
No, it's the women play on the AstroTurf, and the men still play on the grass.
Okay. I thought if they're on an Astro pitch, it might change things because obviously a lot of Sunny Coast teams, especially don't get to play on that sort of pitch, so that changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and to be honest, given South's position, 8 rounds ago, why wouldn't you make that decision to make things more difficult for teams that are travelling to your field? But anyway, they prefer to play on the grass, and that's where they stay. So there you go. So that's the NPL and FQPL. We've focused on the Sunshine Coast Premier League this week. So good stuff. We might wrap it up there. It's been an extra long show tonight. It's been plenty to chat about. So Kyle Nix of Gympie United, thank you so much for your time this evening. We might have a one-on-one chat soon. You've got a rich and varied history that we need to find out a little bit more about.
Yeah. All good, mate.
All right. And DK, thank you again for your time this week.
No problem, boss.
Good stuff. All right. This has been the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show. With thanks to Vilic Law, we will see you next week. The finish line is in sight.